I've been told that allegedly these two are playing soon, which seems to check out because one of them is hosting down here. So this is finals of Peak of the Beak, I think is what the tournament was called. It was in FL. I didn't play in it. It was like a 48-hour round sort of tournament, so I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. But still pretty hype. I think some of my teammates did pretty well, so that's definitely cool. We're gonna be watching the final match today between Ledio and Raikoko. I don't know what either one is playing going into this off the top of my head, so kind of gonna be a surprise for me as well. Is this? Let me make sure this is live, actually. Should probably check on the stream. Can I see the chat? Be watching. Oop, I just heard myself. I should link this too. In the media channel. If anyone wants to watch. Okay. Have they started yet? Doesn't look like it. Oh, yes, they have. Okay. Alright, we caught it just at the end there. Nice. Whew, we didn't miss anything. We didn't miss anything. They are engaged in intense RPS and pre-game banter so far. Does the stream look okay? It looks okay on my end. I don't know. It's kind of shifted down though, isn't it? Let me see if I can fix that. Actually, I don't think I... Maybe if I do something like this. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I don't know. I don't want to mess with it too much, you know? Yeah, I think that... Oops, I keep hearing my voice. Okay. Let's turn on game sounds, actually. I normally have game sounds off because I find them a little annoying, but, you know, gotta have the full experience here. So, Raikoko just, or set passing, T-set, after winning RPS. We are going to the standby phase. Looks like no standby phase does shoot, which, good news for Ledio. Allure of Darkness being used. Do I sense a bird deck? Do I? Do I dare say it? It could be something else still. Dark Grepher seems like a Vayu deck to me. Summoning Armonite as well. Let's see what he sends. Raikoko thinking on summon? There's no way you Judgment an Armonite. He might just be trying to bluff Solemn, which is entirely possible. Entirely possible. He's going to go ahead and send the Vayu, so it looks like it is Vayu Turbo, probably. There's no way, like, Hybrid is on Armonite, right? I don't think that's right. He's going to hit into a Hamster, which is pretty rough. That's probably the worst thing that could have been, honestly. Is this a Vayu Mirror? That's cursed. It's not that cursed. Vayu's a neat deck. It's a lot more interesting than regular Blackwing, in my opinion. Oh, I'm being pinged. Is something wrong? Okay, no, everything's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Thoughts on Allure at 1 in Edison? Allure at 2 at Edison would break the format, probably. Like, you would just have to play an Allure deck, I think, at that point. Or a Dark deck. It would be, like, all, like, zombies and Blackwings, pretty much. Which, there's still a lot of zombies and Blackwings already. It would just be, like, even more. So, yeah, I don't know. You pretty much would just, you can't alter a lot in Edison without, like, throwing off the balance of everything. Anyway, this Goyo is pretty insane, actually. Getting to steal the Armonite and mill some piece of Vayu play, probably. He is thinking, contemplating. Maybe he's on Necrogardna and he wants to send that. He's debating between that and Vayu. I could see that. Or maybe he just doesn't know whether to mill Vayu or Sirocco. It's sending Goblin. Okay, this is not even Blackwing. My bad. This is just a full-on zombie deck with Raikou Hamster. Okay, my read was completely wrong then. Ignore everything I said up till now. So he sends a zombie so that he can use the Book of Life to hit the Vayu, which is very strong. Ledio is really behind on board state right now. He could potentially play into this if he has like some good stuff in hand, because there's no back row. So that makes life a bit easier to potentially react to this. Probably going to be a big think here, I would think. Also on main deck Dust Tornado. Seen a lot more people on main deck Dust Tornado. I think this is kind of like maybe the Legacy of Yada thing, where everyone is just playing more chainable spell traps. I do kind of like it. Dust Tornado is an interesting one. It's like good against most decks, I would think. So you can probably get away with it. There will be occasional matchups in EDISON where back row hate's not good, but it's not very common. So I have deduced that it is zombies versus Vayu. Personally, is that a normal summon Raikou? So he's just going to hit into the set Raikou to get rid of it. That's interesting. Zombie with Raikou Hamster is a little bit unusual, though. Usually you don't see that. Looks like it's got Divas. So an interesting build for sure. I personally favor Zombie. I just think Zombie's the best deck. A lot of people disagree with me on this, but I really value like the just insane power ceiling that Zombie has in terms of making its big synchro plays and just like blowing you out. So he's going for Storm. These were, this was just like a desperation move maybe? Nope, there's a Judgment. He just flipped the wrong one. So now he's kind of given away the fact that he has a Burial. I was thinking maybe he just like set 3 because he felt like he just had to, and he was going to get blown out completely by Storm, but he has the Judgment actually. So we might still have a game here, though it's looking real bad for Ledio in game number 1. Something I never asked is if this is like a... Oh, this was a Swiss tournament, right? So there's no like weird bracket reset, like multiple game final thing going on, right? This is just the last game for sure, right? I assume. I prefer Swiss format for sure. I think double elim leads to lots of weird crap in the bracket. Like bracket luck just matters a lot more. Like if you lose round 1, you're just kind of screwed, right? I mean, and it just leads to weird situations. I think it definitely causes skilled players to top a little bit less because of the like just increased variance of that. Anyway, gonna be hitting in with the Goyo and the Armonite. Interesting that he chose to switch the Armonite rather than just switch the Goblin. I guess? I don't know. Because if you're going to play around Mirror, right, wouldn't you rather just the Goblin get mirrored? Unless he was playing around the Goblin getting deprisoned, but I'm not really sure. So Ledio just going to go set pass. So if it's another Hamster or something, that could be good for him. Another Raikou might be okay for him. But there's like, this could go so bad. There's a Caius, that's just a dead. Yeah, that's devastating. And he's going to scoop. I mean, there were so many things that could have gone wrong there with He still had a Plague play. If he had a tuner in hand, he could go Brionac. He knew the face down was Burial, so he like didn't have to respect anything. So that little misclick might have cost him too, but I feel like you go for the Caius anyway there. Probably. That was just a rough game one for Letio. I don't think there was much he could do there. Just, like I said, I discussed this in a previous video. Just going second can sometimes be really devastating. Especially if you have like a slightly suboptimal hand and your opponent has like a slightly above average hand, and they can just get that crazy momentum going with like the set hamster, and then you hit into it with your arm, and like kind of like we saw in that game. It can just be really rough. Now it can also it's possible to come back in situations like that, but it's it can be an uphill battle for sure. Because I don't really feel like Letio made any huge misplays, at least none that I like identified. He's just sort of on the back foot from the very start, and it felt like there wasn't much he could do. And I don't know, the zombie deck is just so scary. Like, there's so much about it that's good. Like, you have all these floaters and stuff that are really annoying to deal with. You can play a good bit of back row. You have, like, you're just always threatening this insane, like, push. So, I mean, you could play the Raikou Caius, just tons of free removal. I'm a big supporter of Zombie's best deck for sure. Anyway, presumably Letio's going first here. Every now and then I run into like a DB rando who lets me go first. And I'm always kind of like mind boggled as to why. Because there's just no reason in EDISON. It's so bad to go second. Presumably prior to the like draw rule change, there's no reason to ever go second. At least none that I could think of. Maybe there's like some weird format where like going second is it's just like an OTK format or something, and you just want to go second, like maybe Airblade. I don't know. I didn't play back then, so I'm kind of just speculating, but it's a possibility, I guess. Anyway, it's just going to be a set pass. Set pass with no back row means that's probably a Raikou. At least that's my read on it. Generally, you don't want to set Raikou with back row because just of the small chance that the opponent has mind control, you pretty much lose the game at that point, unless it's something chainable. Wasn't going better second in Necros format. That is post-draw rule change, I'm pretty sure. You don't draw for turn in Necros format, right? I think Hat's the last format that you draw for turn. But maybe it would have been better to go second anyway in that format, debatably, because of like the threat of Trish and stuff. But I didn't really play in that format. I was kind of like a period where I was on hiatus from the game. So I can't say for sure, but I can say for sure that you did not draw for turn going first in Necros format. Anyway, gonna flip the Raikou into the Torrential, which it is just a 1-for-1 trade, but like having to trade your Torrential for a Raikou always feels kind of sucky. You wish you could have had something better, like the Goblin Zombie here obviously would have been good. Looks like he's just gonna swing in with Turtle. Obviously doesn't have any floater. Gonna eat another Raikou. We'll see, especially in these Raikou decks, it feels like going first is so important. Like whoever just gets to set their Raikou first in the early turns gains a huge advantage. That being said, this is still very early in the game. Anything could happen. And Letio's mills have been like, eh. He's got a Sirocco, but that's like about it. Does he have Dad? He has 3 Darks. If he has Dad, he could drop it. Hypothetically. I don't know if he plays Sork. Most value decks don't. And I think they're probably right not to. What is hats? Hats like a format in 2011 or 2014. What 2011? It's a format in like summer 2014. It's probably like the last old school quote unquote format in terms of play style. I don't really play hat that much, but a lot of people like it. And the word hat stands for like a deck that was played at the time called Hand Artifact Trap Tricks. That's why it's called hat. Anyway, gonna flip up a hamster, beat in. Met with a Tragodia though. The boy. The spider demon boy. I love Trag. Every time I see Trag, I'm reminded of how much I love Trag. This card's so fun. So, he flipped up this hamster this turn. If he has like a Caius, he could just get rid of the Trag. Hypothetically. There's no Torrential either, so you're not really playing into it that badly. Although even getting Torrential here wouldn't suck that much. But don't have to worry about that. If you have Caius, you'd probably just slam it, I would think. Because that's really good. You get rid of the Trag, you still have the Raikou set up for next turn. He's thinking big here. He might be thinking about dropping Dad. Because we noted he does have 3 darks, right? He still has 3? Okay, he's just going for Caius. No, he's going for a Tribute set. Is that like a Sirocco? It must be a Sirocco, right? I don't think this is... Oh, okay, it was Sirocco deck dev was the plan. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. Because it wouldn't have gotten rid of this Trag. Which is still like a 3k. I guess the Raikou is just going to get rid of the Trag, though, is the thought. I mean, deck dev's still like a devastating card. Especially if his hand's full of like divas and zombies and stuff. I mean, and you get to see everything, so... Deck dev's a blowout either way. Let's see if the other card was also deck dev. No, it was Heavy Storm. Okay. If they were both deck dev, that would have been such a... that would have been crazy. Honestly, not looking too good for Letio at this point. I feel like it is swinging against him here, because he's going to lose this Sirocco. He's going to lose this Sirocco. And then it's just going to be like... He's actually just down on card advantage. Okay, he's going to get his Raikou Caius. And he's going to lose the Sirocco. Now he's behind 1 on card advantage. Whereas previously he was like up 1.5 or... Sorry, sometimes I talk about card advantage in terms of halves. And it's a little bit confusing, but... Basically the idea is it shifts every time someone draws for turn, so... See, he's down a half a card right now because on his turn they're equal, and on Raikou's turn, Raikou's up 1. You see my logic here? I do not know how many people played, and I can do a vid on the top 8 later, probably. As soon as the info on that is out. I think it was... I seen the bracket, but I don't remember how many people there were. It was like a good bit, though. I mean, there were a bunch of rounds of Swiss, so I think there must have been decent participation, which is impressive considering it was like some like overall 2-week period tournament or something. I don't remember how long it's been going. I didn't play in it. I had a bunch of school stuff going on when it started anyway, so... Letio's just got to set pass here. This is feeling rough. You got to get some stuff going here. I do agree with his assessment that he tried to be cute there. Like, I don't know that he should have gone for the tribute set Sirocco deck. That felt like you went really nagging on that play. I don't know if he had anything else to do, but I guess if he had resolved it, it might have been pretty good. Anyway, Call the Haunted being used here for Turtle. That is a little bit odd. Did he just call here? Okay, he's just going for it, I guess. That's the plan. This might be a little early to just be going for it, but maybe he just figures Ledio doesn't have anything, which he might be right. It's like, you maybe threaten like 5k damage here, and go Dark End, kill the set monster. Okay, he's going Colossal. So he's gonna go Colossal Brianak. He can bounce like the set monster and the call, maybe. If he wants to. He's pitching Crow to bounce the call. Oops. Oh, that's a... Oh yeah, Dark Armed. Man, is that just gonna be it? That's 7,900 on board. Actually, it's not quite it. Okay, it's gonna send Vayu, so he's gotta play. He's actually going to live through this, I think, right? Is my math... Oh, is there a warrior somewhere? Oh shit, there's a Dark Grepher. It's 8k exact. Oh no, that's a disaster. And his Gores is gone. Whew, that's rough. Yeah, he had the dad there and everything. Alright. Raikoko just went for it. Oh. Ledio had dad and brain. He could have just dropped dad and popped that Tragodia. Oh, man. If he had dropped dad in main 2 and just popped, like, Trag and then Dust Tornado, he'd have pretty much won, right? That would have just been the end of the game. But he went for the deck dev thing instead. Whew. It's a rough one. Sometimes the very slight little plays can decide the match, and this is just going to be a 2-0 for Raikoko, so I believe he is now the winner. First place in Peak of the Beak, so big congratulations to him. He definitely earned it. Definitely showed his skills in this match for sure. And the power of the zombie deck, so... Anyway, now that the match is over, I think we're just going to wrap up this little stream. It's actually a pretty short one. I streamed for like 6 hours yesterday with TCG Rewind, so this is relatively little work compared to that, honestly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the match. This is the grand finals, yeah. This was the end, so Ledio, better luck next time, but it's still a strong showing getting second place. I mean, you can't hate getting second place. I mean, that's great. It's a great performance. So, congratulations to everyone. I think we're just going to end the stream here because not much else to talk about. Match is over. Big congrats to Raikoko.